My wife cheated with her coworker, while I raised her son for 11 years, so I sent the proof to his wife and walked away forever. So I've been feeling lost. It's been about 2 weeks since I found out. I'd been suspicious for a while. There were plenty of red flags but nothing concrete. I finally decided to confront her. And her reaction? Pure rage. She yelled at me. How could I accuse her of something like that? Said she would never cheat. That only confirmed what I feared. I started snooping through her phone and computer but came up empty. So I bought a few small cameras and set them up around the house. Then I left for the weekend to visit some friends. I grew up in Norway, near the Swedish border. I met my wife in Sweden when I was 20 and she was 21. She already had a 3-year-old son at the time. We clicked instantly, and I've been that boy's dad for the last 11 years. I love him deeply. He's my son in every way that matters. We've been married for 6 years now, not that it changes anything anymore. Long story short, I came back earlier than planned, knowing she wouldn't be home. I watched the footage, and there she was, being intimate with another man. I immediately recognized him, Theodore, a coworker of hers. We used to be friendly with him and his wife. I used to think seeing red was just an expression, but I literally saw red. I'd never been that furious. I'm usually calm, laid back, never one to get truly angry, but I lost it. I punched the walls, kicked the bedroom door so hard it flew off its hinges, and shattered the glass table in the living room. I bit the inside of my cheek without even noticing. When I screamed, blood sprayed the wall and the floor. At some point, I slammed my head against something hard, and that snapped me out of it. I looked at the wreckage and knew I had to get out. If my wife had walked in at that moment, I honestly believe I'd be in jail right now. Best case scenario, for domestic assault. Worst case, something far more tragic. I quickly packed a suitcase with essentials and grabbed my laptop. I work in simulation and modeling, and my system is custom-built. It's vital for my job. I sent the video to Theodore's wife. I didn't add much to the message, just, "Your husband is cheating with my wife." I saw my son just outside our apartment complex. I hugged him and told him I would always love him, but that his mom had cheated on me, and I had to leave. I regret telling him that. He didn't deserve to be burdened with adult pain. But I wasn't thinking clearly. It just slipped out. I tried to cross the border to see my family in Norway, but because of COVID restrictions, they wouldn't let me in. So I've been staying in a cheap Airbnb, working like a zombie. I haven't spoken to my wife. The only person I've responded to is my son. He's been asking questions, and I've tried to answer as honestly as I can. I've told him I don't know what happens next, other than divorce. I've been looking for a good lawyer. I've received hundreds of messages from my wife and her family. I haven't replied to a single one. Only my parents know anything on my side. I haven't talked to my friends. They're also friends with my wife, so I don't feel like I can trust them right now. I'm afraid that if I speak to her or see her again, I'll lose control and do something I can't undo. I also don't want to lose contact with my son, but I have no idea where to even begin. I'm still burning with anger, and I have no idea how to move past it. I know I need to respond to her eventually, but I'm not in a place to be rational yet. I thought maybe writing this out would help. So far, it hasn't made any difference. I'm doing a bit better. I actually checked out a local cage fighting club. Now let me be clear, I don't know how to fight. I'm not in shape. The few fights I got into when I was younger, I got destroyed. But I talked to them, explained what was going on, and they were surprisingly understanding and eager to help. First thing they did was make me work out for 2 hours, and even that didn't take the edge off my rage. They put me in the ring with a seasoned fighter. It was obvious from the start that he was going easy on me. I gave it everything I had, but I didn't even make him break a sweat. He blocked most of my punches and kicks effortlessly, and when I did manage to land a strike with even a bit of force, he'd quickly return a soft smack, just enough to humble me. I had no clue what I was doing, so his gentle hits still knocked me around, but he kept checking in, asking if I was okay after every hit. A few times, he even apologized if he thought he'd hit me too hard. Imagine that, saying sorry for landing a punch in a sparring match. He didn't see me as a threat. Not at all. I doubt he ever would. That day gave me a whole new respect for people who know how to fight. And now, I'm determined to learn. Those guys at the gym? They're the most chilled-out people I've ever met. I want to be that calm too. That little fight session helped a lot. It burned off a lot of my anger. I'm still mad, sure, but now it's manageable. I'll definitely go back, for the training, and probably more beatings. Still, I don't trust myself enough to see my wife yet. I've spoken to my son. I told him no matter what happens, we'll be okay. I told him I consider him my son, no matter what goes on between his mother and me. I think he really appreciated hearing that. I've also reached out to a few mutual friends and her parents. From what I've been told, my wife's come completely unglued. She's been calling and messaging everyone day and night, telling them everything. Apparently, she's even offered people money if they can get her in touch with me. I was planning to communicate with her only through a lawyer, but I just can't afford that right now. So I asked my cousin to act as a middleman. I gave her a few questions to pass along, and we'll see what happens from there. I also plan to contact the affair partner's wife next week. Some Redditors suggested I tell my wife that I'd consider reconciliation if I could adopt my son, but I'd never do that. I'm not using my son as leverage. Ever. I'd love to adopt him, but only if he asks me. Only if it's something he truly wants, without pressure or influence from anyone else. I'll get through this. I believe that now. I've received so much solid advice here, and I finally feel like I have a plan moving forward. I was trying hard to focus on getting myself back under control. I started going to individual counseling, which helped a little, but what really made a difference was when I tried boxing. The first gym I went to was run down, honestly kind of grimy, but the 5 guys there had this incredible bond. That's what pulled me in. I wanted to be part of it. They all said I needed to talk to the old man. Apparently, he owned the place and decided who could join. They all respected him like crazy, which made me nervous. Let's just say the old man had a tough personality. He mostly listened at first, but once he started speaking, I found myself getting more and more worked up. It's not that he said anything wrong. Everything he said was spot on. Maybe that's what got under my skin. Or maybe it was the way he said it. Like every sentence carried a subtle accusation. He made me feel like I wasn't good enough to be part of his gym, and before I knew it, I was practically begging for the chance to prove I was worthy. I still haven't decided if he's a total jerk or some kind of genius, but I can say this. He's had a major impact on my life, even if he's hard to be around. I'm starting to understand why people look up to him so much. He's helped me uncover the root of my anger and taught me how to see things more clearly. That journey deserves its own story, but for now, I'll stay focused. This is already getting long, so let's get back to the main issue. A few days after my last post, about 20 minutes after I had talked to my son, he called me back. He was crying and apologized for lying to me. He admitted that things at home weren't okay like he had said. He told me my wife was just sitting in front of the TV, staring blankly. Even when he turned it off, he had no real food at home. The house reeked. The only thing he'd eaten in the past 2 days was a sandwich a friend's mom had made for him when he visited. I rushed home immediately. I could smell the rotting garbage from the hallway, even before opening the door. Inside, the place was an absolute disaster. It clearly hadn't been cleaned since I left almost a month ago. The floors were covered with crumpled paper. Dishes were piled in the sink, unwashed. There was shattered glass on the floor, trash overflowing, and the smell, unbearably foul. I went to check on my son first. I had picked up a burger for him on the way. I asked him to stay in his room and eat while I spoke with his mother. I assured him everything would be all right. I was home now. I was going to take care of him. He cried and hugged me for a while. That hug meant the world to me. I had missed him so much. I'm never leaving him again. My wife was sitting just as he described, silent, locked in a daze, staring at the screen. What he didn't mention was how awful she looked. She had lost a shocking amount of weight. She was just skin and bones. Her eyes were sunken, surrounded by dark rings. Her skin was pale and dry. Her lips cracked. Her hair was dirty and tangled. Her clothes grimy. I pulled up a chair and sat down between her and the TV. The stench coming off her was horrible. There was a bucket beside her. I later realized it was half full of week-old vomit. I felt a sharp ache in my chest. I wanted to help her, to fix her. For a moment I forgot what she had done. Seeing her like this hurt deeply. I guess I still love her in some way, despite everything. That truth terrifies me. Something's wrong with me. I didn't know what to say. She wasn't fully there. She looked at me and actually asked if I was real. When I told her yes, she broke down, crying in a way I'd never seen before. Wailing is probably the better word. It was so loud it startled me. Then, mid-scream, she either passed out or fell asleep. I didn't know how to check someone's pulse, so I put my Fitbit on her wrist. Her heart rate kept jumping between 100 and 150. I figured that wasn't normal. I laid her in a more comfortable position on the sofa and wiped the snot off her face. Then I ran next door and asked the neighbors for help. They kindly agreed to watch our son while I rushed her to the hospital. She's been there for 7 days now, though honestly I've lost track of time a bit. I visited once, but the doctors said my presence upset her too much, so they advised me not to come again for now. They still don't have a diagnosis. They have no idea when, or even if, she'll come out of this state. Since then, I've been focused on taking care of my son. He's going to individual counseling now, and he seems to be improving. But there's no doubt this whole situation has traumatized him. I'm drowning in guilt for the part I played in putting him through all of this. I've contacted a lawyer to start the process of getting custody, for obvious reasons. I don't know how it'll go, but I'm doing what I can. I've also prepared for divorce, but I'm holding off. For now, it took several days to clean the house. I had to bleach the fridge inside and out, but it still reeked of spoiled food, so I ended up replacing it. I also found something unsettling. My wife had taken all my dirty clothes and arranged them in the bed to form a body shape. She'd even added details to make it look anatomically real. It was deeply disturbing. I went through all the scattered papers she'd left behind. Most of it was barely readable, rambling gibberish that made no sense. A few pages listed dates and times, but without any context, they were impossible to decode. The most disturbing were the ones where she'd written the word sorry over and over in long, endless lines. Many of the pages trailed off mid-sentence, dissolving into squiggly lines like her thoughts had simply unraveled. I honestly don't know what to do. The anger I once felt is completely gone, replaced by overwhelming sadness. For the whole situation, but especially for the pain and trauma my son has endured. I feel sorry for my wife, but I also understand why I was furious before, and I see how much I've changed just to survive this pain. It feels like I've left a massive part of myself behind, and she's the reason. I'm not sure I'll ever be able to forgive that. Being a good husband and provider was a big part of my identity for so long. That part of me was crushed by her affair. Letting go of that part wasn't just hard, it was agonizing, but it was too painful to carry anymore. It's too early to say where this all leads. Right now, every possibility is still on the table. I'm still hurting, still confused. For now, all I can do is focus on rebuilding my self-esteem, my self-worth, and my sense of masculinity. If my wife recovers, I'll speak with her. I'll decide then what to do next. Right now, my son is my only priority. I need to make sure he's okay. Sorry, this isn't some dramatic story with righteous confrontations and cinematic revenge like the others I've read here. I'm just exhausted, sad, and lost. Before I returned home, everything felt so clear in my mind, but now I can't see a single good way forward. I haven't been sleeping well, and I feel dazed. If I ramble, please bear with me. I truly appreciate the variety of viewpoints people have shared. It's helping me process all of this. My wife is still in the hospital. She's refused to see anyone except her mother. The only instruction she's given, aside from banning visitors, is that no one is to speak to me on her behalf or try to influence me in any way. She's confessed to cheating to almost everyone she knows, but not in any detail. Her calls, I'm told, are panicked. Things like, "I cheated. He's going to leave me. What do I do?" So people have been leaving me alone, unless I reach out to them directly for support or advice. A few days ago, her mother gave me a letter my wife wrote. It's long, 32 pages. I'll try to summarize the main points. She apologized for everything she's done to me, to her son, and to us as a family. She said she'll sign whatever I want: divorce papers, custody forms, anything. No questions asked. She also confessed to a 2-month emotional affair with another man online before the physical affair began. I didn't know about this at all, so I believe she's being honest now. The confession was detailed, and she included all her login credentials to back it up. She wanted me to know she wasn't hiding anything. She admitted she was swept up by the attention and excitement. She seems genuinely baffled by how far things went. From everything I've read, emails, messages, call logs, it all matches her story. She even pointed me to a thumb drive hidden in one of her drawers. It contains a diary dating back nearly a decade. From what I've read so far, the diary lines up with her letter almost perfectly. She described the first emotional affair as more of a flirtatious game. No pictures, no real talk of meeting up. Just innocent enough to blur lines, but nothing overt. She said it went on until one day she had the impulse to send him a more serious message. That scared her enough to end it immediately. She wanted to tell me about it but didn't have the courage. According to the diary, she'd been trying to find the right moment when the second, more serious affair started. She wrote about how the attention from that man gave her an intense ego boost. "He's a very good-looking guy, model tier. I've met his wife, and she's absolutely gorgeous. A straight-up 10 out of 10. Jaw-droppingly beautiful. That's what made it so addictive for my wife, getting attention from someone like him who was already married to someone so stunning. It made her feel special, like she had outshined someone who, by all accounts, should have made her invisible." She admits she knew it was wrong. She said she hated herself every step of the way. But what struck me most was how genuinely confused she seemed about why she couldn't stop. She admitted it herself, and later I confirmed it with the AP's wife. From what I understand now, the physical side of the affair only began when the AP started losing interest. That's when she began using sex to keep his attention, to keep him engaged. According to her diary, the sex seemed more like a chore than anything intimate or pleasurable. She didn't enjoy it. She gave it as a reward to get more validation, like it was a prize she offered in exchange for affection. She was clearly weighed down by guilt at first, but over time she started to compartmentalize it all. Of course, during this period, our relationship steadily declined. While she was off chasing validation, we drifted further apart. According to her diary and her confession, the affair was physical for 4 weeks. They kissed and messed around, and they had sex 5 times. The timeline is backed up by her location data and credit card transactions, hotel bookings and the like. Everything else from that point on, you already know. Her letter ends with this: "I don't know who I was when I had that affair. I don't even recognize that version of myself. I don't understand how I abandoned everything I believed in, my morals, my love, my family, so easily. I don't know why I couldn't stop. I won't insult you by asking for forgiveness or even understanding. I don't deserve either. My only hope is that I can help you and our son heal. In whatever way I can, I will do anything you ask, without question, no matter how big or small. If it helps even a little, I'll do it. Once I'm released from the hospital, I'll move in with my mother. I'll stay away unless you ask for me. I don't want my presence to be a constant reminder of the pain I caused. I don't have the words to express how sorry I am. I just hope, more than anything, that you find peace and someone worthy of the love you gave me. I pray I haven't destroyed your ability to trust or love again. I will never be with anyone else. I'm clearly not safe to be with. I will seek therapy and try to understand, maybe even fix, whatever is broken inside me. But as of now, I don't know who I am, or why I couldn't stop myself. I knew what I was doing was wrong. I knew it was hurting everyone, even myself, but I did it anyway. I was selfish. I caused all this just to feel better about myself for a fleeting moment. When I saw your face, on the camera you left behind, watching me with him, the pain on your face broke me. It shattered my delusion. That's when I realized what I had become. Terrible, destructive, evil. I don't believe there's any salvation for me. I will always love you. I wish I could undo everything, but I can't. I'm so sorry." I ugly cried while reading it. I've been up all night and I still don't know what to think. I feel emotionally wrecked, confused, empty. I even watched the video again, the footage of her with him, and the footage of me losing my mind afterward. I don't even remember everything that happened, but the video shows it all. Watching her actions breaks me. But what's even more disturbing is watching myself lose it, completely unravel. I can't stop watching them. I try to stay away from the footage, but an hour later I find myself back at it, replaying everything. It's like some twisted loop I can't escape, and it's hurting me. I don't understand why I keep doing this to myself. Also, what she described in her letter, is that even possible? Can someone actually get pulled into an affair so deeply that it stops feeling like a conscious decision? Can it really become a compulsive behavior? If there are any women here who can offer insight, please, I'd appreciate it. From her diary, it seems she may have fallen into depression about 3 years ago, after her favorite aunt passed away. Her entire view of life seems to take a dark turn after that, almost hopeless. I've read other stories where depression has caused people to act totally out of character. Could that have played a part here too? Could it have triggered something deeper? She clearly didn't love any of those men. What she loved was the rush, the ego boost, the feeling of being desired. She clung to the things they said to her, the praise, the attention, the fantasy, and on D-Day, she didn't hesitate. She cut the affair partner off immediately, called his wife, and told her everything. I know this because when I met the AP's wife in person, she told me herself. She even suggested we have a revenge affair. She was fixated on getting even, as if that would somehow make things right. Beauty aside, she's probably the most irritating woman I've ever met. Talking to her was like listening to nails on a chalkboard. Needless to say, we won't be having any kind of affair, and I will never, ever meet with her in person again. I don't know what to do now. I can't sleep. I can't think clearly. I really need help. Her mother continues to act as a go-between. I reminded her, through her mom, of what she wrote in her letter, promising to do anything that might help me or our son heal. I told her that I believed having a conversation would help. I also asked her to let me speak with her doctor, or to go see them together, so I could better understand what's happening. Her doctor won't tell me anything unless she's present, and she's still saying no. So I'm trying to be patient. In short, I've been diagnosed with PTSD. My wife has been diagnosed with persistent depression and some form of bipolar disorder. She has a chemical imbalance in her brain, and they're currently testing different medications to stabilize her. Many of you were right. Her mental state made her extremely vulnerable, and then a predator crossed her path. Her affair partner has apparently been cheating on his wife throughout their entire relationship, with multiple women, often at the same time. They're now getting divorced. From what I've heard, the AP's been roughed up a little. Not seriously, but enough. His wife contacted the husbands of most of the women he's cheated with. I've had a friend staying with me most days, helping me stay grounded. My son and I are going camping this weekend. Recently I was trying to confirm if what my wife wrote in her diary was true, that she considered the sex with the AP to be a chore. Watching her body language and facial expressions in the footage, it looked like she was just waiting for it to be over. Disconnected. Empty. I haven't decided what to do yet, but I've finally deleted both videos. The one of her with him, and the one of me losing control. They were only hurting me. I couldn't stop watching them. Part of me keeps screaming to walk away. Just leave. Find someone new. But the doubts eat at me. What if she cheats again? How can I ever trust her? Will I ever stop replaying that mental movie? Will I divorce her years from now anyway because I couldn't get past it? I wrestle with those thoughts daily. But one thing's certain, divorcing her now would mean I lose some level of daily contact with my son. And he needs me, especially now. He's terrified of being abandoned, and that makes sense, given everything that's happened. If I leave his mother while she's still like this, won't that make him think I could leave him too? We've started going to the boxing gym together, and it's brought us closer than ever. Being there for my son gives me a sense of purpose, strength, motivation to face this with an open mind. He's relying on me right now, leaning hard. Even if I decide to divorce her, I'm not sure I could go through with it in the short term. He's begged me not to leave again. The 2 weeks I was gone traumatized him. I won't put him through that again. There's no telling how long it'll take before his mother is stable enough to be a real parent again. If I leave now, maybe she never recovers. And even if I leave, the pain won't go away. The scars will still be there. I'll carry that into any new relationship. Would that kind of emotional baggage even allow a new relationship to succeed? Maybe it's better to stay, for now, while I heal. At least she knows why I'm acting this way. She understands why I'm struggling. If I leave, what's really waiting for me out there? Most single women my age are either divorced for valid reasons, or they're driven by this intense desire to have kids, to the point that they stop genuinely considering if the partner they're with is right for them long term. They seem willing to mold themselves into whoever they think they need to be, just to get into a relationship. But that kind of connection can't last. It all feels like a high-stakes gamble. The truth is, relationships born out of desperation rarely survive, and right now I'm too broken to pretend otherwise. The idea of dating strangers or going for random hookups doesn't appeal to me at all. And honestly, how long would it even take to find someone who understands me the way my wife does? She's the only person in my entire life who ever really got me. It took years to build that connection. Isn't that something I could lean on for my own healing? Would I ever find someone else who could offer me that level of emotional understanding again? And even if I did, how long would it take? There's no guarantee a new partner wouldn't cheat. Given everything we've been through, I actually think my wife is less likely to cheat again than someone new would be to cheat for the first time. My son also needs his mother, but she has to heal before she can step fully back into that role. Will she recover faster if I divorce her? Or will she heal more effectively if we work toward reconciliation? I honestly don't know, and it's driving me insane. How can I know she's safe to be around our son unless I'm there, watching over them? When it comes to my own healing, would I be better off alone or with her? From what I've read here and elsewhere, People who rush straight into divorce don't always heal well. It seems like the best long-term recovery happens when the unfaithful partner actively helps with the healing process, over the course of 3 to 5 years at least. But I don't know if she's even capable of that right now. So here I am, terribly conflicted. I've got a million questions in my head, and basically zero answers. I'm still swinging between the two extremes, reconciliation or divorce, and everything that lives in between, and I can't deny it. I still love my wife. Turns out that bond isn't so easy to break. I don't want to love her. My prideful side wants me to hate her, but I can't lie to myself. I still love her deeply, and even though I used to fantasize about her feeling the same pain I did, I no longer want to hurt her, or anyone. That wouldn't help me heal. Either way, the road ahead looks long and painful. I just hope I have the strength to see it through, and the patience to make choices that are truly right for me and for my family. The only decision I've been able to make so far is this: if I do end up offering reconciliation, it won't come freely. It will not be given without effort. I'll need to see real work. I won't offer reconciliation unless I'm absolutely sure we are both 100% committed to that path. And if we do reconcile, then unfortunately, she'll be on probation. I hate to say that. I don't want to be that guy. But what choice do I have if trust is gone? Regardless, therapy will be a must for both of us. And maybe she doesn't even want reconciliation. Maybe she's already made peace with it being over. I don't know. Not being able to talk to her is becoming a real burden. It's eating away at me. I feel like I need that conversation with her. If anyone has advice on how to approach that talk or what to say, I'm listening. Thank you again, everyone. Truly.